With how poorly Ty Simpson and Jalen Milroe played in the Alabama spring game, Nick Saban has made it extremely clear, number one, he's not happy, and number two, he's still looking for a quarterback. You can't make this up. You cannot make this stuff up. Alabama's having quarterback problems? Hey, you know what? Let's just go take another quarterback. Let's just go steal a former 5-star quarterback from Notre Dame. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm loving this. This is the privilege to being an Alabama fan, to going for one of the best programs currently in the country. Okay, let me quit laughing, let me lock in, let's get serious, and let's get down to business, because this is a serious topic. A couple of days ago on Saturday, you may have or may have not saw this 12-minute video where I was freaking out. I really was. I told you guys before the spring game, hey, I don't care about spring games. I've never even watched a spring game. They're not that big of a deal. And then what do you know? Alabama has their spring game, and then I upload a video where I'm pretty much raging. And I was reading some of the comments on that video. Matt, I never watched a spring game. They're not a big deal. Also, Matt, getting really upset over the spring game. And let me clarify this. I was only getting upset. I was only freaking out because I don't know what we're going to do at the quarterback spot. And also, our wide receivers, I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen Alabama wide receivers drop that many passes in any game. And don't say I'm freaking out about it. It was so bad. Nick Saban even said something about it. That's what I was complaining about in that video. The wide receivers mainly and the quarterback play. It was pitiful. It was embarrassing. It was a waste of time. And when I say waste of time, I'm talking about it was a waste of time for me to watch that spring game. It was pitiful, pathetic, whatever word you want to use. And guess what? News came out earlier this morning, the breaking news, that Notre Dame's quarterback, what's his name again? Oh yeah, Tyler Buchner, he's entering the transfer portal. No big deal though, right? Who cares? Notre Dame quarterback enters the portal. Well, check this out. News comes out that Alabama's interested in him, and he's interested in Alabama, and since this morning, since he entered the portal, they already scheduled a visit. This changes everything, and I'm talking about everything for Alabama. We got a lot to talk about on that subject, and also we got a couple other minor topics we're going to speak on, including many people feel like Bijan Robinson is a lock to go to the Eagles. He's recently came out and spoke about it. I do want to speak on that a little because I just realized we haven't talked about Bijan Robinson whatsoever. But also, we got to address this for my Michigan fans. Their starting defensive back, RJ Moten, he's announced he's entering the portal. Why? I have nobody understands why. He was a starting defensive back. Why are you leaving? You're at one of the best teams in the country. There's a ton of stuff going on in the college football world at this moment. We also have the NFL draft coming up. I'm loving it. I love when it's chaotic. It gives us a ton of stuff to talk about. Hope you guys are enjoying the videos as well. It seems like you guys are. You already know the intro. If you like the content and you're not subscribed, consider joining our community. We would love to have you here. And also, I want to say this. Major shout out to everybody that is already subscribed. I greatly appreciate you guys. All right, Matt, blah, blah, blah. Shut the crap up. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. I do want to say this again. I greatly appreciate you guys that are subscribed and people that watch every single day. You come to the channel. Let me know your thoughts. You comment on the videos. Anything you do, follow me on Twitter, tweet at me. It means a lot. Thank you. I don't want to sit up here for a minute or two and be corny and cliche and say thank you, but I just want you to know that your support, it means a lot. It means more than you ever know, and it does not go unnoticed. But let's move on here to our first topic. I don't even want to speak on this for about 45 seconds to a minute. The news came out that Michigan's starting defensive back RJ Moten, hope I'm saying that correctly, entered the portal. Now, I gotta be honest, I don't know too much about this guy. I really don't, but according to this post right here, they're stating, hey, it doesn't make sense. He was a starter and blah, 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 blah. Why would he leave? Oh, wait a minute. My bad, my apologies. According to the people in the replies, he is not a starter. He has been benched for Makari Page. Okay, that makes a little more sense. Well, I guess there's nothing left to discuss here because if he's leaving just because he's not starting, that's all there is to it. I mean, there's nothing to get worked up about. I was kind of just taking what this article, not article, but what this post said for its word. Because they stated, as you can see right here, hey, he's a starter. What's going on? So I just kind of believed he was a starter, but I guess I should have done some more research. That was a quick topic. Moving along here to our second topic, there's been a lot of rumors circling about Bijan Robinson. He could go to the Eagles. That's what I've seen the most. But also recently, there's been rumors going on that he could go as high as number 8 to the Atlanta Falcons. That is very high. But today he was asked who he wants to play with the most outside of Patrick Mahomes, and he said Jalen Hurts. He's also stated that he loves everything about the Philadelphia Eagles. And could you imagine Bijan Robinson and Jalen Hurts? You're talking about a title contender. I mean, the Eagles are a title contender more than likely without Bijan Robinson, but you add him, he might already be a top 10 back in the NFL. The dude's special, but check out this tweet. I'll just say this. A couple NFC teams I talked to this week do not want the Eagles to draft Bijan Robinson. The thought of that offense with his addition is scary in their eyes. Well, if you don't want the Eagles to draft Bijan Robinson to all these other teams, then you draft him. I mean, what's the confusion about? And your boy RG3, Robert Griffin III, he's also came out and stated earlier today that Bijan Robinson is the best player in the NFL draft. I don't know about all that. He's definitely top 5, but the best? You know, Bryce Young's still in this draft. But anyways, I'm actually really curious to see how high he can go because we all know this. Running backs, it is rare for them to even go in the first round. You're just not supposed to do it. Why aren't running backs supposed to get drafted high? Well, they're the easiest position to replace. It's unfortunate, but unless you're a straight up baller like Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan Robinson, you're not getting drafted in the first round. Running backs are so easy to replace. And also, another reason teams are so terrified and petrified of drafting these RBs in the first round, especially high, is because of good old Trent Richardson. What happened with Trent Richardson is every NFL's team's biggest fear. You may have a for sure generational type of talent like a Saquon Barkley or Bijan Robinson, but in the back of all these NFL GMs' heads, they're thinking about Trent Richardson. And I'll say this, with the way the NFL currently is, I don't know if we'll ever see a running back drafted inside the top 3 ever again. We'll see what happens there. Let me know in the comment section, how high do you think Bijan Robinson is going to go? Because obviously he's going in the first round. For me personally, I would say the highest I would take him is I'd say number 8. I don't have a problem with that. That'd be the highest though. Would I take him inside the top 8? Absolutely not. We'll see what happens. We'll see. But now finally, moving on to the main topic of the main encore, the main reason you clicked onto this video, we got to talk about what's going down in T-Town. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but hey, it is what it is. Let's roll with it. Okay, I don't have time to waste. You don't have time to waste. We're jumping straight into things. Alabama's quarterback situation, it's awful. And matter of fact, I'll say this. It's the worst it's been since I can remember. I got a lot of sources in Tuscaloosa, and all I heard in the offseason from these quote-unquote sources were, man, Matt, Jalen Milroe, he's going to shock you. He's gotten 2,000 times better. He's looking comfortable. He's looking this. He's looking that. They just praised him. I took their word for it. I was like, hey, maybe Jalen Milroe, he improved. We were seeing highlights of his crazy throws in spring practice. And well, what do you know? On Saturday during the spring game, I didn't see any improvement from last year. If anything, he got worse. What I saw on Saturday was essentially and pretty much the same thing I saw against Texas A&M when he started and Alabama barely won. He tried to lose the game for Bama, but Alabama got lucky. For those of you that are curious, I know you like to see some stats and numbers. In that spring game, he was 19 for 37, completed roughly 52% of his passes, 245 through the air with 2 touchdowns to 2 miserable interceptions, and it should have been 3. Look, man, I'll tell you straight up, you put up those numbers against a Georgia, LSU, or Tennessee, Alabama ain't winning that game. If you don't want to believe me, check this out. Bryce Young played out of his mind against LSU and Tennessee last year, and Alabama lost. As much as I hate to say it, it is the cold, hard facts. This ain't the same Alabama team we've come to know. This isn't Alabama from 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017. We are no longer feared by teams in the country. We're not. Teams look at us as a good and respectable opponent, but the difference was 10 years ago they feared us. They don't fear us anymore, and that scares me. Because when teams don't fear you, they get hope. And when teams get hope, they start to believe. And when they start to believe, well, they beat you. Let me read you out these other stats before we continue to move along here. The other quarterback who's fighting for the spot, Ty Simpson, wasn't too much better. 12 for 26, that's what, 48% completion percentage, a $155, 0 touchdowns, 1 INT. Now it is worth mentioning and thrown in there, both Milroe and Simpson had wide receivers drop wide open passes. And Alabama's 3rd and 4th string quarterbacks, they did okay, nothing special, and they're not even going to have a chance to win the job. So that's why I'm focusing on these 2 young men. With all that being said, here's my problem with these 2 young guys you're looking at right here. Whether you want Ty Simpson to be QB1, you want Jalen Milroe to be QB1, neither of them are ready. I am not confident in either of these guys right now. As to where it stands, I said this Saturday and I still stand on it. If I had to start one guy, it'd be Ty Simpson. That's who I'm rolling with, just due to the fact I don't feel like a disaster play is going to happen when he's in there. When Jalen Milroe's in there, I'm sorry, I'm not sorry, but he's a walking turnover. He makes too many risky plays. And in Alabama, we don't need you to be superhero. We don't need you to be Cam Newton. Just make the right reads, dump it off, and occasionally throw a 50-yard bomb. That's it. Jalen Milroe tries to be a superhero when he doesn't need to be. That's what I've seen up to this point. I'm not saying it can't change. I'm not saying he can't be a Heisman contending quarterback. I'm not saying he can't be the next Tom Brady. But as to where it stands right now, I can only go off of what I've seen. And what I've seen, it isn't good. As far as it goes for Ty Simpson, from what I've seen from him, it ain't too good either. But it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look like he's going to lose us a game, so that's why I have him as QB1. Who's better potential-wise? Well, duh, it's Jalen Milroe. The dude's a freak athlete, got a rocket launcher of an arm, but his accuracy's terrible and his decision-making terrible. On the other hand, for Ty Simpson, yes, he's safer. He's a safer option, but he doesn't have really any experience whatsoever. He also seems a little nervous and skittish out there, but that's understandable. But the point is, no matter how you want to break this down, these two guys ain't ready to beat Texas in week 2. Then they're not going to get ready in the next 4 months. That's what everybody's saying. Matt, quit overreacting to the spring game. They got 4 months to practice, dude. These guys ain't going to get too much better in 4 months. I'm sorry. And you want to know why I believe that? Because I've played sports. These guys, they're what, 20 years old? They've been throwing a football for 20 years. If they haven't gotten really good at it now and really good at decision making, what makes you think it's going to get that much better in 4 months? Think about it. Can you drastically improve your arm decision making and improve your overall quarterback skills in 2, 3, 4 years? Yes, you can, but not 4 months. So with all that being said, yeah, I'm concerned. And you also know who else is concerned? Nick Saban. If you watched the Alabama spring game, you could tell from his body language he was not too happy. And he even stated during the game when he was talking to the reporters, hey, I've been trying to tell Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson the quarterback is wide open in the cover 2 and they won't throw it to him. Multiple times, probably 9-10 times during that spring game, tight ends running wide open down the middle of the seam and we're not throwing them the ball. So this has left Nick Saban, Tommy Rees, offensive coordinator for Alabama, with no other choice but to go after a quarterback in the transfer portal. And you know who that quarterback is? Good old Tyler Buchner from Notre Dame. I gotta be brutally honest, when I first saw this, I was like, wait, isn't this the same guy that lost to Marshall? And yeah, it was. This is the same quarterback that lost to Marshall. He was 18 for 32, 200 yards, 56 completion percentage, and had 2 INTs. I believe one of them was a pick 6. I don't know why, but I vividly remember that game because I was watching it going, man, Notre Dame has fallen off the face of the earth. And the only other game he played last year was against South Carolina, where he led them to a 45-38 win, but he had 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. On the year, he had 650 passing yards, 3 touchdowns and 5 INTs, QBR 60.4. Not good. So as an Alabama fan, am I overly excited about this news that we're now going to be going after this former 5-star recruit and Notre Dame quarterback? Heck to the no. I'm not overly excited if this was Caleb Williams, Arch Manning, Nico Imaleva. Yes, I would be. But no, we're talking about, what's his name again? I already forgot. Oh yeah, Tyler Buchner. But, and I have a big but, I will say this much. It can't hurt us. To a certain extent, I am kind of excited for this. The definition of insane is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. Well, so far out of Jalen Milroe, starting him week 1, week 2 would be insane. I'm actually more of a fan of this move than I think most people out there. As a Bama fan, I'm sitting here going, hey, why not? Let's bring this guy in. Maybe he can be the next big-time star. Who knows? Maybe at Notre Dame, he just had a couple of rough games, but he's got experience, and if Alabama likes him, I trust Nick Saban. Look, I want to make this astronomically clear. I'm not saying that this is going to be a big-time and mega upgrade from Jalen Milroe or Ty Simpson, but what I am saying is it can't hurt us. With how poorly Ty Simpson and Jalen Milroe played in the Alabama spring game, Nick Saban has made it extremely clear, number 1, he's not happy, and number 2, he's still looking for a quarterback. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do trust Nick Saban. I trust Alabama staff. Let me know your thoughts down below, but